All right, folks, welcome to another segment of Political Foods Exposed. I'm Cy, and we got Dr. Ford over there. And in this segment, we're going to discuss Donald Trump's ambush and him confronting the South African president. Now, why would he do that? Why would he bring the South Africans over here and pretend like he really cares about all these people or what they think? He don't care. They've already put a fake agenda out there. And I'm not going to call these the white Africanos or Afrikaners or whatever they want to be called. I'm going to call them Europeans in South Africa, okay? Because that's what they are. The Europeans in South Africa. What is that? EISA. Whatever that spell, that's their new name, okay? Now, all I want to say is this, folks. He ambushed these people, folks, with a video. And this was a calculated move to stoke racial fears and distract from the real issues that the black Africans went through. The black South Africans went through this for many, many years. Where was Europe at? Where was all the white, powerful businessmen? Where was America when the black people was going through stuff in South Africa? There was nowhere around when Elon Musk and his family came over there and murdered people. His dad murdered some people and tried to act like he did it in self-defense. That wasn't no damn self-defense. Come on, folks. They've been killing black people all over the world forever. And now all they want to do is justify it and show these injustices. And let me tell you how these powerful people work, folks. Now, I got a tooth with my I have some ache in my tooth, so sometimes I don't pronounce words or whatever. So we'll get to that. But here's how they do this, folks. They control, if they have videos, this is fake news. If they have video of black or white farmers being attacked by black people, if they have videos, what they do is how they do it over here. See, over here, let me tell you how it operates in America. Let me tell you how it operates in America. Like when we are protesting something, right? There might be thousands of us protesting, but only a few act foolish. And you know who those foolish are? Those are the people that's controlled by organized crime or the puppet masters. They send black people in there, just like how they did the Panthers. They sent black people to infiltrate the Panthers. We always talk about it all the time. So if Donald Trump has a video of black South Africans attacking white Europeans in Africa, then they control those people, because there ain't nowhere in the world white people in this world is going to let any black people attack any white people. So they protect each other. So don't fall for this trick. You understand what I'm saying, Dr. Ford?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I would like to add something to that too, that now there was Haiti in 1803. Haiti was a French colony. And what happened now, the black people were slaves. They are in Haiti working for the French, a colonial colony. The black people rebelled and they won the rebellion. But Thomas Jefferson was president in 18, and he went in and supported the white people, supported the French to put down the black people who were slaves, because we were a slave country also. So I'd like to add that to it. But in reference to the South Africans, they got there during the colonial period, around the 1700s. They were put there by the white people. They were people from Holland. They call them from the Netherlands, and they settled there, Dutch people. And so they took over the land and took all the land from the black people, made black people slaves in their own country. So, but right now, even after in 1994, when Nelson Mandela became president, but even during that civil war, when Nelson Mandela was fighting the white people, the United States and Israel provided guns to the white folks to kill black folks. And so you saw what the position the United States was on. They were supporting the white folks, and Israel giving guns to white folks to kill black folks. Yes, so the white folks, through the colonial period, they claimed and they controlled 100% of all the land, and the black people were slaves in their own country. And so after Nelson Mandela, they fought him. And Nelson Mandela, they won that war because they were supported by the Cubans and the Russians. Gave the black people guns to fight the white South Africans, Cuba and Soviet Union. And they won the war. And so they kicked out the white people and they won the war, and Nelson Mandela became president. But the United States never said that we gave guns to white folks to kill black folks, which they did. And so at the end of that, they did establish a constitution, and they didn't begin no massacring white people. White people kept a large part of the land. So that's what they still got right now. Trump said that still white people have a very large portion, 80% portion of the land. And so that's what the current president is talking about. He said, well, the white people still there with 80% of the land. Let's give some of that land to these landless black people. So that's the issue. And so Trump bringing things and said, well, it's racism against the white people, and they are massacring and genocide against the white people. And even the white people there said that's not true. Trump is lying about it. But what has also happened, what they don't say, is that after Trump did that tariff, and he issued executive decree, and he changed the agriculture department, and he stopped giving farmers in America all that money, and so a lot of farmers in America are being foreclosed on. And so the white South Africans, right now, they don't even say it. The white South Africans be given the opportunity to buy those foreclosed farms, those poor white Americans who are being foreclosed on. So Trump don't say that. He's saying that the poor South African. No, South African not poor. They got a lot of money. They're buying up millions of acres of American farmland where the poor white farmers are being foreclosed because they have financial obligation to the banks and to the government. Because what Trump did was he closed government buildings and the Department of Agriculture. The top level people were all fired. And he stopped giving money to farmers. The white farmers depended on that money, growing crops. But he stopped it. And now those farmers are being foreclosed on. And the South Africans come and buy all that land. That's so sad that poor American farmers who had land in their possession for generations, they're being foreclosed on. The white South African with all that gobs of money are buying up that land.
Yeah, it is sad, but, it's part of their business. It's what they do, okay? Because all this is Trump, he's trying to portray this. It's just like a land reform. That's all. And he's making it out to be a racial thing. Okay, these white people, you could tell the ones who came over here first, those ones, they didn't have any money. They even never had no money. These ain't even the ones who own farms. Okay, you could tell these are the ones who just sat on their ass and lived off government money. They look like they are straight out of the trailer park. That's what they look like to me, folks. And they've always done this. Even back in our history, they made you think black people got 40 acres and a mule once slavery was over. We didn't get... A few number got something, but it mostly went to the white ex-slaves who they reclassified as indentured servants. And this is what they do all around the world. They give it to white people, but they use the media to make it look like black people getting stuff. Same thing with welfare, anything we can go DEI, affirmative action, it's always went to these foreigners. So now these black South Africans is over here, once they get their American citizenship, I said black South Africans, them Europeans who lived in Africa, once they get their American citizenship, now they can be classified as African Americans, and they're going to get all the damn DEI, affirmative action, all the money that's supposed to go to us is going to go to them white, because they're going to get classified as African Americans once they get their citizenship. And then here's how it works. They're going to get everything, but when the news do a story on it, they're going to put a picture like us on there. So it's going to look like all this money is going to African American, but they ain't telling you it's somebody white. This is how they do stuff all the time, okay? To grant these people asylum for what? Like the good doctor said, even white people in Africa who live in South Africa is telling you that this is not true. Trump came with this fake video to make it look like it's true, and people believe it. Only them dumb people on the right believe it. You know what? I'm going to say this, and I'm going to be the first to say this. A lot of people on the right, especially Trump, he can't read. Why you think he didn't ever read a teleprompter? He can't read. He cannot read, folks. They don't tell you guys this. This is why he couldn't get into schools. So this is why he seems like he's a down-to-earth person. It's not that he's unscripted. It's the reason why he's unscripted, because he can't read his teleprompter. So he has to go out there and wing it. And this is why he always say something that don't make any damn sense. This man is the worst person in the history of mankind in modern time. To make it look like these Europeans in Africa, South Africa, are being treated bad when, like the good doctor told you, the wealth is still controlled, 80 to 85% is still controlled by white Europeans. Does that make any sense? It just shows you how crazy they are. You understand what I'm saying, Dr. Ford?
Absolutely. And it does make you sad because Trump he enacted an executive order denying refugee citizenship to certain people. And mostly all brown people was kicked out. But he initiated an executive order to allow the white South Africans to come in. So at the same time, he's kicking out all brown people, he would allow South Africans to put in, giving them a new status as refugees because they were being racially oppressed in Africa by the black people, which wasn't true. The South Africans said, it was not true. But it was a whole thing to allow more white folks to come in. At the same time, he was forcing out all brown people, allowing white people to come into this country. And what I see is what is happening is it's going to be a terrible race situation. We already have a terrible race situation in America now. It's going to be more racial polarization, and that's coming. Racial polarization in America is coming, and Trump is the person who's doing it. Not saying Trump is totally responsible, because the American white population, I would say a majority of them are racist anyway, because the majority of them voted for Trump. And they understood that Trump was a racist. If you knew he was a racist, why would you vote for him? Now, American white people now are having regrets for voting for Trump, not because he was a racist against black people. It's because Trump is directing his executive orders toward white people by firing white people at jobs and closing down federal government agencies where white people are making a whole lot of money. White people are angry.
We know he has an agenda, because when throughout history have they ever put a color on the word genocide? They don't put a color on that. They might put the ethnic background on it and tell you the Armenian genocide. They never said the black genocide. They don't say that, but all of a sudden Trump want to label this and emphasize this as a white genocide. Is that crazy? After all this shit these South Africans been through because of these white Europeans, all of a sudden they want to, and this is how dumb Americans are. Americans have to be the dumbest people ever, because we have the opportunity to understand stuff, but we don't understand anything. We get distracted with the entertainment industry, sex scandals. We like all this stuff. But this man is distracting everybody and trying to divert attention from all the systematic issues in this country, especially the ones we go through: police brutality, voter suppression, economic disparities. These are the things that affect poor people every day in this country, and now this man want to bring in more poor people to live off the system. But that's why he want to get rid of the black and brown to make room for the white. Y'all don't hear me though. That's what that man wanted to do. He not gonna say that, but he started getting rid of the black and brown to make room for the white, and more white people gonna be coming over here. Because like the good doctor always tell you, they have fear of being outnumbered. The power structure have fear, but everyday white people, the reason why they have fear is because they get tricked all the time by rich people. Rich people trick these regular, everyday people all the time, folks, every day in this world, folks. And this is what they falling for. If you, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say on this, if you believe those Europeans in South Africa are being treated badly, here's what I want you to do. Take you a drone and fly over South Africa, and I want you to look at the white neighborhoods and then go look at the black neighborhoods. And then you come to the conclusion of what's really going on, folks.